Friends, so today we are going to begin with money market. So starting with the money market, we can see a little intro that I would like to give, that money market is the segment, is that segment of the financial market where short-term maturity securities are negotiated. In other words, it is a marketplace where highly liquid financial instruments are traded. The purpose of this market is to provide liquidity to market participants through short-term financing. The majority of these instruments can range from few hours to 1 year. The majority of participants, if not all of them, are financial institutions and regular companies looking to finance their regular day-to-day operations using the funds provided through this market. In other words, a bank might need a loan for 2 hours to fund their cash reserves before the next deliveries of the trades. So likewise, we can see that money market is playing an essential role in maintaining the day-to-day liquidity of the banks. Thus, when the bank would take out a short-term loan on the market and pay interest to the lender, some of the instruments traded in the money market are certificates of deposits, treasury bills, and commercial papers. Now, moving on to the structure of Indian money market, we can see the structure on your screen that Indian money market is divided into unorganized, organized, and corporate sector. Unorganized sector is comprising of money lenders, indigenous bankers, nidhi funds, chit funds, etc. Whereas organized market is divided into RBI, public sector banks, private sector banks, development banks and financial institutions, DFHI, etc. Public sector banks are further subdivided into SBI groups and other nationalized bank category, and private sector banks are categorized under scheduled banks, non-scheduled banks, and scheduled banks are Indian banks and foreign banks. We can see there are many, for example ICICI, IDBI, Yes Bank. There are so many scheduled and non-scheduled category of these kind of banks. We can see there are variety of such financial institutions which are operating in India, and there are non-scheduled banks also. Then there is development banks and financial institution, which is the examples are UTI, LIC, IFC, IDBI. So we can see that there are the Indian money market whole structure is divided into such a broad category. Each category has a different elaboration to make, but due to paucity of time, we will be moving on to the structure of Indian money market. We can see that the Indian money, the organized sector basically is comprising of the government sector kind of institutions, the RBI and the other commercial banks, rural banks, and even foreign banks. The RBI organizes and controls this sector. Other corporations like LIC, UTI, etc. also participate in this sector, but not directly. Other large companies and corporates also participate in this sector through banks. Unorganized sector, normally these are comprising of many indigenous bankers. We can see that the local money lenders and hundis, etc. Their activity are not controlled by RBI or any other body, so they are unorganized sector. And to make it more important, I would say that this is the sector which is more to be given importance and looked into, because a lot of exploitation is there, because people finding easy money go into the debt trap, and such kind of money lenders normally charge very heavy rate of interest, and sometimes there are cases where there is more of exploitation than anything else. Now, moving on to the characteristics of developed money market. Then first is the central bank. A developed money market has central bank at the top, which is the most powerful authority, which is monetary and banking for the banking and monetary matters. It controls, regulates, and guides the entire money market. It provides liquidity to the money market, as it is the lender of the last resort to the various constituents of the money market. The organized banking system. An organized and integrated banking system is the second feature of a developed money market. In fact, it is the pivot around which the whole money market revolves. It is the commercial bank which supplies short-term loans and discount bills of exchange. They form an important line between the borrower, brokers, discount brokers, etc. We can see that how the acceptance of these houses and the central bank in the money market is there when we see that there is an organized banking system in the market. Then moving on, we have a specialized banking system. Now, what is specialized sub-markets? A developed money market constitutes of a number of specialized sub-markets dealing in various types of credit instruments. There is a call loan market, the bill market, the treasury bill market, the collateral loan market, and the acceptance market, and the foreign exchange market. The larger the number of sub-markets, the more developed is the money market. But the mere number of sub-brokers is not enough. What is required is that the various sub-market should control things properly. Next is existence of large near money assets. A developed money market has a large number of near money assets of various types, such as bill of exchange, promissory notes, treasury bills, securities, bonds, etc. The larger the number of near money assets, the more developed is the money market. Now, integrated interest rate structure should be there. Another important characteristic of a developed money market is that it has an integrated interest rate structure. The interest rate prevailing in the various sub-markets are integrated to each other. A change in the bank rate leads to proportionate change in the interest rate prevailing in the sub-markets. Now, moving on to the objectives of money market. The main objective of the money markets are as follows. The main objective is to provide borrowers with short-term funds at a reasonable rates. And since the securities are all short-term, the lender will also have the benefit of the liquidity. Next is the turn saving and the idle funds of the public into effective investments. This is beneficial for the entire economy. It allows the Reserve Bank of India to regulate the levels of liquidity in the economy. This is one of the main functions of the RBI. Companies and corporations have short-term deficits from time to time. They may also need help with their working capital requirements. The money market will facilitate the funds necessary. It helps the government implement monetary policies via their open market operations, which are direct and effective in nature. Now we come on to the money market instruments. The money market instruments are the call money market, treasury bills, commercial papers, and certificate of deposits. What are these? First, taking up call notice money. When money raised or borrowed on demand for a very short term, which ranges from 1 day to 14 days, then it may be called as notice money, and when it exceeds 14 days, it is termed as call money. Treasury bills. These are short-term negotiable financial assets issued by central bank on behalf of the government for overcoming liquidity shortfalls. Next is commercial bills. A commercial bill is a negotiable, self-liquidating instrument that is less risky in nature when goods are bought on credit. These bills improve the liability to make the payment at the specific date. Next is commercial paper. It alludes to an unsecured promissory note issued by large and credit-worthy companies at a discount on its face value and redeemable at its face value. Certificate of deposit. It is an unsecured, negotiable financial instruments which a bank and financial institution issue to individual, corporation, trust fund, etc. at a discount on its face value, and its maturity varies from 15 days to 1 year. Now, after knowing what are the instruments in the money market, we will move on the laxities or the defects that are there prevailing in the money market. The first and very important defects of Indian money market that we can discuss is the existence of unorganized money market. The most important defect of Indian money market is the existence of unorganized segments. In this segment of the market, the purpose as well as period are not clearly demarcated. In fact, this segment thrives on these characteristics. The segment undermines the role of RBI in the money market, and we can see that this segment is the most exploitative segment, where people taking loan under this segment are getting most exploited most of the time. Next is lack of integration. Another important deficiency in the lack of integration is different segments of functionaries. However, with the enactment of the Banking Companies Regulation Act 1949, the position has changed considerably. The RBI is now almost fully effective in this area under various provisions of the RBI Act and the Banking Companies Regulation Act. Next is disparity in interest rates. Yes, there have been too many interest rates prevailing in the market at the same time, like borrowing rates of the government, the lending rates of commercial banks, the rates of cooperative banks, and the rates of financial institutions. This was basically due to lack of mobility of funds from one sub-segment to another. However, with changes in financial sector, the different rates of interest rate have been quickly adjusting to changes in the bank rate. There is seasonal diversity of money market. Yes, a notable characteristic is the seasonal diversity. There are very wide fluctuations in the rates of interest in the money market from one period to another in the year. November to June is the busy period. During this period, crops from rural areas are moved to the cities and parks. The wide fluctuations creates problem in the money market. The Reserve Bank of India attempts to lessen the seasonal fluctuations in the money market. And basically in India we can see there are a lot of seasonal disparity in the rates, in the demand and supply chain. Now next is lack of proper bill market. Indian bill market is an underdeveloped one. A well-organized bill market or a discount market for short-term bills is essential for establishing an effective link between credit agencies and Reserve Bank of India. The reason for this situation are historicals. The preference for cash to bills, etc. are the main reasons. Reserve Bank of India started making efforts in this direction in 1952. However, a new and proper bill market was introduced in 1970. There has been substantial improvement since then.